Yo, what's up? And despite popular belief, I was never always socially good with people. I had to develop the skill set in my early 20s. I pretty much started from ground zero of literally having zero social skills and knowing how to connect and communicate with people. I was lacking in that department. And today I just wanted to share a quick tip, easy to implement technique that you can implement now, quick, and it's pretty much effortless. They'll increase your social effectiveness, how likable you are as a person, and you just give more value to the world and you make the world a better place by implementing this technique. So before I start, I want to ask, what is the most important word to a human in their language? And I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And if you answered your name, then you are correct. Your name is the most important word that a human can hear. It's because that's who you are. How many times have you been at a party and you think you heard your name, but no one actually said your name? Your brain is just wired to be listening for your name because it's you, it's your name, it's who you are. What does this have anything to do with being more socially effective? The tip is acknowledge people by their name. So I was gonna go deeper into this, but I wanna make this a shorter video and give you an actionable, implementable tip that's you can implement today. It's effortless and it'll just make the world a better place, make you a more likable person and more socially effective. So let's start by an example. Imagine you're at a grocery store, you got all your groceries, and then you're paying and you see the lady checking you out. She's checking your items, and then she gives you how much you pay, and then you notice on her name tag it says, let's say Cindy. And when you see that, all you have to do is say, thank you, Cindy, I hope you have a wonderful day. You're acknowledging her as a human being, as a person. They're not a freaking transaction machine. They're not a robot. And I can't tell you the number of times where I've just paid for groceries and all I did was look at the name tag on their shirt and just acknowledge them by that. Just if I was asking for help, thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Kenny. And the number of times where I've said it and their face actually changes emotion. It goes from this sort of robotic-like face of like, people are treating me like a transaction machine. And I'm sure they're not thinking about that, but that's probably how they feel. And when you acknowledge them by their name, they're kind of taken back. They're like, oh, how did you know my name? And they have a name tag, but I've done it and their face just changes state from this automatic robotic state to, oh, this person acknowledged me as a human being by my name. I'm not just this robotic machine just giving change, scanning items. And this applies to any service industry. It could be you're at the bank, you're at a restaurant. A restaurant, maybe the waitress doesn't have a name tag, but a majority of the time, or pretty much always, they always introduce them by their name. So let's say Sarah comes at the restaurant and says, hi, I'm Sarah, I'm gonna be your server today. Just remember that name, and then at the end of the meal or when you need help, just say, thank you, Sarah. Just acknowledge her as a person, not as this person taking orders or doing transactions and serving you. It'll make a difference. You'll be more likable, you'll be more socially effective, and people will just see you as more charismatic and a more social person because you stick out. You're acknowledging them by their name, especially in the service industry where people are pretty much treated oftentimes like transaction machines. Now, one caveat though, there's a difference between acknowledging someone by their name and Dale Carnegieing someone. So the idea of the most important word in the human language's name came from Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And Dale Carnegieing someone is when you use their name way too much. It's when you meet someone and you're like, oh, thanks, Kenny. Oh, Kenny, that's awesome. Whoa, Kenny, oh, that's a really interesting fact, Kenny. Kenny, that is wonderful. That is Dale Carnegieing someone. That's way too much. All you have to do is acknowledge them by their name a couple times. You don't need to overdo it or else it'll come off as inauthentic, unauthentic. Just acknowledge them. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Cindy. Acknowledge them a little. Say it a couple times, but don't overdo it and say it every sentence. Like, thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Kenny. You're awesome. That's an awesome point, Kenny. Blah, 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 Kenny. And that's all. implement this quick tip. Next time you're at the grocery store, all you have to do is look at their name tag, and when they're done checking you out, just say, "Thank you, Cindy. I hope you have a wonderful day." And you may see them taken back because they're spending a majority of their day just taking transactions, registering, checking out. And when you say their name, it will show that you're acknowledging them as a person, a human being, and you can change their day. I've seen it where I've literally changed someone's mood just by acknowledging them by their name. And that's all for today. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night or day whenever you see this. And just next time you go to a grocery store or a restaurant, just try it. Just try it. You see their name tag, just acknowledge them, thank them by their name. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, viewer, whoever's watching this. And yeah, take action on it. Do it. I promise you it'll be wonderful, because you're going to change moods. You're going to make people feel like human beings, make them feel better. And generally make it emit an overall better vibe and energy into the world. So already do it. I promise you'll be awesome. Until next time. She turn around and goes, "Where you from?" Left coast, best coast, then I stutter.